This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
It will go down as one of the most disgraceful failures in America's history. A chaotic exit from Afghanistan left America's image tarnished and led to the tragic death of 13 American soldiers.
We are coming on the air because the flag-draped remains of the 13 fallen U.S. service members who were killed on Thursday in Afghanistan have now arrived back in the United States to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware.
And news reports have now confirmed Biden didn't act alone. Kamala Harris was part of the incompetence and failure that led to the unnecessary deaths of the young men and women tragically killed.
Afghanistan. Yes. Were you the last person in the room? Yes. And you feel comfortable? I do.
But the tragedy for the families of these 13 fallen Marines didn't end there. To this day, Biden and Harris have refused to even say the names of these fallen soldiers who gave their lives for their country. But they will never silence these Gold Star families.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the Gold Star families.
In the nearly 3 years since Hunter's been gone, there has been silence. Silence from that empty space at the dinner table where Hunter would have joined his brothers and sister and us for family gatherings. And there has been a deafening silence from the Biden and Harris administration. Despite our pleas for answers and accountability, they have pushed us away and tried to silence us.
As Commander-in-Chief, President Trump always had his soldiers and their families' backs, and always will.
I'm Christy Shamblin. My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G. Was a United States Marine, and she was killed at Abbey Gate in Afghanistan alongside 12 of her brothers and sister-in-arms. Donald Trump spent 6 hours in Bedminster with us. He allowed us to grieve. He allowed us to remember our heroes. Donald Trump carried the weight for a few hours with me. And for the first time since Nicole's death, I felt I wasn't alone in my grief.
Harris and Biden failed our soldiers and their families. President Trump never will.
I absolutely love that. I don't know when it got put together and when they put it out, but it hit home today. And I think every single one of you who understood what today meant understood how powerful that was. You know, I know a lot of you guys watch my intro on the beginning of this show. I try to play it almost on every single show. And it says a lot about Trump being that one man. And today, that has been clearly, without a doubt, exemplified. Clearly, no doubt, he is that one man. Today is the 3rd anniversary of the tragedy of the botched Afghanistan withdrawal. This morning, a beautiful memorial service was held at Arlington National Cemetery is what it's called, right? And it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And you saw that, you know, Tulsi Gabbard was there as well. And it just made me wonder, why did Kamala Harris and Joe Biden both skip it? Nowhere to be found. Didn't see them. You're the President of the United States, however you got there. and you're on a beach in Delaware? And Kamala Harris, you're running to be the President of the United States. And you had nothing on your schedule. And you weren't there. And the media barely brought it up. Barack Obama skipped it. Bill Clinton skipped it. George Bush skipped it. Only one former president showed up, and that one man who did show up is Donald Trump, the true American president. I gotta play a video today, right now for you, that shows what kind of man Donald Trump is. He didn't have to be here. There's no way this guy had to show up at the ceremony. He's not president. People say, oh, it was just a photo op. No, a commander-in-chief is a commander-in-chief. These are your soldiers.
Ready? Step. Oh! Order! Oh! Please turn in place. Safe transport to there.
As you watch that, I'm pretty sure there's a few veterans in here that kind of felt it right here, right to the heart. How can you not? When you hear that song played, you know the feeling. You know what it means. I never served. However, my father did and my brother did. They both served. They know what that song means. They know what the president being there means. Dementia Joe and Kamala Harris didn't even bother to go. If you were concerned that it was a photo op for Trump, it was a photo op for you as well as your obligation. These were your soldiers. You screwed up. You got these men and women killed. And I know you didn't go because you didn't want it to basically taint or stain Kamala Harris. So you stayed away. But your absence made it worse. Every military person looked at that and went, where the hell is Dementia Joe? Oh, he's on a beach in Delaware. Where's Kamala Harris, who's trying to be the commander-in-chief? Don't know. Not going to show up. Who showed up? One man. None of the ex-presidents, not Barack, not Clinton, not Bush, none of them. One man showed up. I gotta believe there's a lot of people in the military who looked at that and went, that's a commander. That's what a commander-in-chief is all about. Being there for your soldiers and their families. Trump then, went out and just even a step further. He went out to one of the grave sites of one of the soldiers who passed and basically got on the phone with his family as he was placing roses on the grave. This is Trump talking to, I believe, the brother of one of the slain soldiers. And, this is prior to the laying of the wreath on the left side. But on the right side, you see Trump getting ready to put, roses down on the man's grave in Arlington. Where was Joe? Where was Kamala? Trump didn't ask for people to take pictures. Trump went because that's who he is. He is that one guy. So many of you saw the impromptu conference or speech he had earlier where Tulsi Gabbard announced that she was getting behind Trump and she's going to participate in his administration as well. And that speech was made in front of the National Guard Association. National Guard, I don't know what it stands for, but it was a conference with National Guardsmen. Kamala Harris was given an invitation to go to that. She ghosted him. She didn't even want to do that. How can this woman possibly be running for president of the United States when she won't do anything? And I mean anything. Even if you didn't want to go to the cemetery, why didn't you go talk to the National Guardsmen? They're all sitting there. Okay, you want to be our commander-in-chief. What you got? Let's hear it. Nope. No show. Trump will go talk to the National Association of Black Journalists and go into a hostile territory, and you won't even go see the National Guard? How are you fit to be the president of the United States at this point? I don't know. And Trump was making sure that, let me just check her, was making sure that everybody knew exactly what was going on. He posted this on Truth Social. This is the third anniversary of the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Gross incompetence, 13 dead American soldiers, hundreds of people wounded and dead, Americans and billions of dollars of military equipment left behind. You don't take our soldiers out first, you take them out last when all else is successfully done. Russia then invaded that country over there that I can't say. Israel was attacked, and then the USA became and is a laughingstock all over the world. The fake news media remained silent in order to protect the worst administration in the history of our country. MAGA 2024. And he was telling the truth. I mean, absolutely, they stayed silent, for the most part. Then I saw this tweet, and it kind of cracked me up. Check this out. This is from Politico, and Stephen Miller posted it. Harris says he had a key role in Biden's Harris says she had a key role in Biden's Afghanistan withdrawal decision. And one of the problems that people were having today was that Trump is going to try and pin this on Kamala. Well, she's already pinned it on herself. I got a little video here. It's about 20 seconds long. And let's see here. If I can find it. Which one is it? Oh, here it is. It's this one. Listen to what Kamala says here herself. Nobody else, just her. And where's the list here so I can play it? Okay, here we go. I want you to hear this. This made me sick when I heard what she said here because they think she's being picked on at this point.
You just made a really big decision. Afghanistan.
Yes.
Were you the last person in the room?
Yes.
And you feel comfortable?
I do. And I'm going to add to that. This is a president who has an extraordinary amount of courage.
courage. Joe Biden has courage. He didn't even show up. He didn't even come today. He didn't want to face these National Guardsmen. He didn't want to face the families of the dead, slain people from Afghanistan. Courage? You won't find that in the dictionary under Joe Biden's attributes. Not at all. No courage whatsoever. And you won't find it under Kamala Harris's name either. So MSNBC gets out there and they're like, hey, we need to talk about this because it's important. And I'll give them credit. They were like the only news agency besides Fox who even talked about it.
Trump was at Arlington National Cemetery this morning on the third anniversary of the suicide bombing in Afghanistan that killed 13 U.S. service members. What kind of an issue is Trump using this on?
Well, look, this is a low-key way for Trump to highlight something that he considers to be one of the biggest failures of the Biden administration and something politically he hopes he can tie Kamala Harris to.
Don't have to try. This guy goes, he's trying to, hopefully can tie Kamala Harris to. I just showed you the video. She tied herself to it. I was the last one in the room. These guys in the media, especially in the liberal media, are trying to basically run cover for Kamala Harris at this point. Not knowing all this tape exists where she says the stupidest stuff, and this one's coming back to bite her.
The disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan 3 years ago. Trump often highlights the death of those 13 service members at the bombing at Abbey Gate. He's done so again in a Truth Social post overnight. Obviously, this is a respectful appearance here at Arlington National Cemetery, but Trump views the Afghanistan withdrawal as a major foreign policy weakness for both President Biden and Vice President Harris.
How could you view it any other way? How could you not view this as a major policy issue for the Dementia Joe and Kamala Harris? There's no easy way to put it. You can't sugarcoat it. 13 Americans were killed because of his actions. Period. I know y'all don't like to talk about it. I know you wish it'd just go away. But you can't sugarcoat it. His decision, as nutty as it is, got 13 people killed, and the media hopes to sweep it under the rug. And it was so painful for them today because on the third anniversary, they actually had to talk about it.
And the polling has shown that was a point in which Joe Biden's popularity took a major hit, started to go down in that summer 3 years ago.
That's what they're afraid of. You see, when it gets shown, it hurt Dementia Joe. It hurt. They saw his numbers go down. So they don't want the same thing to happen to Kamala. They can't associate her with that, because if you associate her with that, then more than likely the same thing would happen. Unfortunately, she's already done that. She doesn't know what she says when she does interviews, and she doesn't know the trail of crap she's left behind her. So at this point, this stuff is all bubbling back up again, like, oh, you were the last one in the room, huh? You were okay with this? And she said in that video, yeah, I was okay with that.
Didn't really recover. So this is the kind of thing that I expect you're going to see Donald Trump continue to try to highlight in ways both a little bit more subtle, like an appearance at Arlington, and a little bit more directly in his speeches and campaign trail appearances.
Well, I have this one question. Why wouldn't you highlight it? Why do these guys sound surprised as if, hey, this is something, Donald Trump's going to do? Because, a man's got to do what he's got to do to try and win. He's going to try and make her look bad. You mean the truth? You're telling me that the truth of what's happened kind of bothers you? It should. She's incompetent. They're not qualified to do the job. Those soldiers didn't need to die that day. It's absolutely ludicrous that the media 3 years later is still trying to say, it's not really her fault. Can we just get to, tomorrow, get past this? Trump keeps bringing it up. Yeah, he's going to keep bringing it up. He should keep bringing it up. You know why? Because you're not. The media being in the tank for Kamala is trying to make sure that this stuff goes away. They don't want it. And they definitely don't want people talking about it, because the more people that talk about it, the worse it is for her, and they will get that association. But so much is happening and going against her that they can't stop it. There's nothing they can do at this point, and Trump's going to make sure every single person knows what today is all about.
This marks the 3-year anniversary of the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Kamala and Crooked Joe's catastrophic withdrawal from Afghanistan has just been horrible for all of us. 3 years ago, Kamala and Biden's incompetence left 13 dead warriors, hundreds of civilians killed and grievously wounded, and $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment on the planet abandoned to the Taliban, right into the hands of the Taliban. It also left 45 incredible soldiers so badly wounded, the legs, the arms, the face, obliteration. As Vice President, Kamala bragged that she was the last person in the room. She was the tough one. She was the last person in the room during that disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan decision. She repeatedly praised the decisions, and she said it led to a catastrophe, but it was worth it. The incompetence and weakness on display from the Biden-Harris administration was an insult to every soldier, sailor, airman, and Marine who ever served in our U.S. military. As we mark this horrible occasion, we mourn with the families of the great American heroes who lost their lives 3 years ago, and we vow to never forget the supreme sacrifice they made for our country. America cannot afford 4 more years of Kamala Harris in the White House. She is a disaster. She's a radical Marxist. She destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed the state of California. Everything in her way she destroyed. She ran against Crooked Joe Biden and she lost. She was the first one out of 22 people. She was the first one to quit. She never even in the primary made it to Iowa. And this is not a person that should be running right now. She didn't get 1 vote. I'm not a fan of Biden at all. I thought he was the worst president in history. I think she's the worst vice president in history. But she got no votes. He got 14 million votes. They staged a coup. And something like that's not supposed to happen in our country. Under my leadership, our nation will be strong and respected like never before. And I will keep America safe. I will keep it safer than ever before. And if I'm not elected, I truly believe you're going to end up in World War III and you're going to end up in a depression, the likes of 1929. Thank you very much.
The thing with what he just said, in addition, I'm going to show you something in a little bit. When he's talking about the depression, I think we even have maybe an even bigger issue. We have the communists in our country that want to take us down. When you hear this, 20-second clip that I'm going to show you in a little bit, it's going to blow you away. It's going to make you sick. It may make you want to take up arms. I mean, seriously, if people knew, if the media did their jobs, this thing wouldn't even be a horse race. It would already be over. One of the problems I'm having is it reminds me of September 11th. That was in 2001. 23, going on 23 years ago, coming up. So September 11th is coming up again in a couple weeks. 9/11. Are they going to do it all over again? Because they don't want people talking about that either. 3,000 Americans killed because of some nut jobs over there who now that they're trying to appease. How do you think that, September 11th is going to go over in Dearborn, Michigan? What's going to happen there when Ilhan Omar and all the nuts that they've coddled in the Democrat Party, they're not going to want to talk about 9/11. And of course, the media is going to do as much as they possibly can to sweep that under the rug too. Now, obviously, Kamala Harris had nothing to do with 9/11. Dementia Joe, that I know of, didn't have anything to do with 9/11, or nothing that anybody can prove. But the fact remains, on September 12th, and I've said this a few times, on September 12th, the feeling we all had is something I wish we could all go back to. Dial back in your mind. Just think for a second. What did you feel on September 12th? I always tell people, understand how you felt on September 12th. On September 11th, you were pissed and you were grieving and all the things that come along with watching what happened wherever you were. You remember that day. You'll never forget where you were that day. I was in a dentist chair. I had a 9 o'clock appointment. And I'm sitting back with brother in my mouth, and I'm watching the TV, and I'm like, oh, that's odd. A plane just hit the tower. Wow, that sucks. I hope those people are okay. And then a little while later, the second one hits. I'm like, spitting everything out of my mouth. I got to get home. We're under attack. The first one looked like, we probably all thought that might have been an accident. It's kind of odd. Kind of odd. Plane flying into a building. Looked like he turned, but who knows. When that second one hit, we're like, all bets off. And people were terrified. They were pissed. I had friends. We lived at that time in Jupiter. I had a friend of mine who also lived in Orlando, and he had a route. He was a salesperson, and he just remembers all the planes ditching and coming in one after the other. He's like, what in the hell is going on here? That next 24-hour period, we all watched on television. All the networks covered it, even CNN, and showed the aftermath. And showed bodies and wreckage and people just crying. September 12th, there was no black and white. September 12th, there was no Republican or Democrat. September 12th, we were all Americans and we were fired to F up. We're like, oh, hell no, you didn't do this to us. Let's do this. And we were all fired up. However, whatever you believe about what happened, that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the feeling we all had here on September 12th, where we would talk to strangers in a coffee shop, in a restaurant, and just say, how you doing today, man? How's it going? You all right? Yeah, I'm going to be all right. Them sons of bitches, they did this. We got to get them. And everybody was fired up and everybody was unified. Unified. We're one country pissed off, and we wanted to make sure that never happened again. And the media was right there with us. The media said, yeah, you know what? This is America. You can't do that here. September 12th, 2001, 23 years ago. And now the media acts like that was our fault. The media acts as though, hey, listen, let's not talk about the next thing that happened. We can't talk about Benghazi. Oh, no, can't talk about that. No, it's not Hillary's fault. Oh, Afghanistan, where people are falling out of the sky and all kinds of stuff. Oh, no, that's not the Democrats' fault. I don't know if we want to pin it on Obama, or I'm not sure whose fault it is. The fault I'm looking at is how come this country became ununified? How come it became such a bickering place where Democrats and Republicans and, everybody else is going nuts at each other? Why? Why is that? How is that fostered? How do BLM and Antifa and all this crap happen in America? Well, the answer to that is it was intentional. America was set up like a bowling pit. America was set up to be ripped apart. And now they're close to making sure that actually happens. And one man is saying, you know what? Screw that. Let's go ahead and get back to September 12th. Let's get back to that feeling of being proud to wear red, white, and blue. Being proud to wear a Trump shirt and not feel fear because somebody was going to be offended. I posted a picture this morning on my community tab of myself and my wife wearing Trump gear, daring somebody to say something. I dare you to say something. You want a piece of this? Go ahead and say something to either myself or my wife. I am no longer looking to cower. I am no longer looking to worry about who might hear something if I say the words Donald Trump. My wife used to, openly, and then she would go to restaurants, honey, lower your voice. People might hear you talking about Trump. Oh, that's right. Might upset somebody. They might spit in our food. F you. If you don't like it, let me know. We'll leave. We'll take our money and go someplace else. But this is September 12th for me. I want it to be September 12th for you. I want you to reach back and go, we're America. We're America. We're not taking this shit no more. We're not going to be all transformed. We're not going to deal with commies. We don't even have time to deal with you. We want to stomp you out. If you get that into your mindset that you want to be like September 12th, and if you're too young to remember, ask some people. You won't see it in history books, so they don't want you to know what happened on September 12th. Those of you who lived through it, remember that feeling. We were friggin' America. We're Americans. And we're not going to take this shit anymore. That's what I want you to feel right now. Because I'm hearing too many people bitch and moan about Tulsi Gabbard. She's a Democrat, and I don't know what she might think. Oh my gosh, RFK Jr., he's wacky, and, he's got some stuff, but I'm a conservative. Get over yourself. We're Americans. We need to come together as Americans. We need to be prepared to fight as Americans. On September 12th this year, you need to look at RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, and if Joe Rogan comes on board or whoever else comes on board, the only thing you should be looking at them as Americans. Ready to defeat an evil presence here. It's time you start reaching out to people who might be on the fence and go, hey man, I know you're not been a big Trump guy. I know you think the orange man's bad. But you know what's worse? Not being able to talk. Not being able to just be free and go, Trump, Trump, Trump. Talking about the guys upstairs. Not being able to say the A word because, you can't talk about that. I believe firmly if people can get back to a September 12th mentality, this censorship stuff doesn't stand a chance. If we can get back to a September 12th mentality, this evil of wanting to make sure that we're communist and Marxist and socialist will go away. The only reason that stuff exists because we've let it exist. Understand, they would have no power, no strength, no say-so if it weren't for the fact that too many people forgot how they were on September 12th. So I'm just asking you, feel like September 12th again. Understand that we're heading towards another September 11th. And this time it ain't planes. It's people within. It's newcomers coming across the border. It's newcomers getting $150,000 of your money to buy a house that you can't buy. It's newcomers coming across the border, bringing whatever they're bringing and causing problems in cities and doing stuff to women and breaking in homes. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican living next to me. If I see a newcomer climbing in your bedroom window and I know little Sally's there, guess what? Up with the... I love that sound. That sound right there of a Mossberg Persuader, that's your warning. There's no warning shot. You better know what that sound means because the next one's a cap in your ass. And I don't care next door if you're Democrat or Republican. I just know I need to stand up for an American. I know you probably didn't tune in for this tonight, but I'm over it. I am completely over it. I'm completely over this commie woman standing up and telling Donald Trump what he needs to do and how he needs to do this debate and do all this other kind of stuff. You can take that and shove it up your you-know-what. I need more of you to feel that September 12th mentality. Let it sink in. Like, oh yeah, I remember that day. Yeah, you had tears. You probably had some pain, but you were pissed off. You were pissed off that someone dared take on your country. Who the hell do these people think they are running stuff into buildings? That ain't gonna make it. Well, who the hell do these people think they are, these Antifa nuts, Who does this BLM people think they are? Who does Kamala think she is going to take 70% of your money? Same mentality. Rise up. You don't even have to be violent. You know what the best way to confront this stuff is in unison. Be an American. Stop kowtowing. I'm not, people said to me, Barry, I never took my Make America Great shirt off. Yeah, I understand. Depends on where you lived. Some places you couldn't even wear it in the store. Oh, excuse me, sir. You're going to have to turn around and take off that shirt. It's a shirt. Yeah, but, you can't wear it in here because, some people are offensive. Stop me now. Tell me I can't wear that shirt into your establishment. And then show me the people who are upset. I'm going to let them know something too. I'm done with it. I hope you're done with it. That's enough of my soapbox here, but I hope you guys understand at this point, we're all Americans. I don't even like using that hyphenated shit. Oh, you're Italian American. No, you're an American. Oh, you're a black American. No, you're an American. Enough of it. I'm done. I'm totally done. You took a shot at this guy. You killed the other guy's father and uncle. It's no more. I don't know if you guys saw that, the Dan Bongino hearing today and how he got fired up about the Secret Service. And you pulled the Secret Service away from RFK Jr. What are you trying to do? Jack Smith runs into court today and trying to refile a lawsuit to get charges against Donald Trump. America needs to say, no, we're done with this. We need to vote these people into oblivion. We need to treat our ballot like we're, arming up. That's your ammunition at this point. Let me see what you guys got to say about that. Okay, Six Eagle says, don't give in to communism. Nope. Oh yeah, I'm done with it too. Yeah, stand up. Absolutely, Barry. Don't start no shit. There won't be none. You got it, man. And I love it that some of the ladies are saying the same thing. I know when I sign off tonight, a couple of you guys are going to think, what the hell is Barry talking about? Let me think. Do I remember how I felt on September 12th? Yeah, put that in the chat. Do you guys remember how you felt on September 12th? And how you felt towards people who were making fun that 3,000 people got killed and people were... My wife looked at this. She saw people jumping off the tower. She's like, oh my God, what have they done to us? Never again, we all said. Never again. Now it's here. And it's in our friggin' government. We let the enemy in. We have a voice too, a loud voice. Yep. Yeah. Remember how socialism starts, and you can't vote your way out of it. And here's something. This gentleman or lady says she was 11 years old, and I'd love to know how much of what you know at this point as an adult was taught to you in school. Did they tell you what actually happened in school? Did you know what was going on at that point as 11 years old? You're just coming home and watching people sift through rubble. America was attacked. And America is under attack right now. John Boston says, you are 100% right, Barry. I live in Massachusetts, and these liberals are so brainwashed and stupid, can't reason with idiots. John lives in Massachusetts. They had another September 12th up there. It was in April. I forget which year. Do you guys remember this? Do you remember the Boston Marathon bombing? Massachusetts is a huge liberal bastion. That's where tons of liberals live. And then they blew up the Boston Marathon. And then they went on this unbelievable lockdown of the city so they could find these two nuts. You guys remember that? Do you remember what happened? All these cops from different towns, people getting on the phone. I thought I saw him here, thought I saw him there. Oh, wait a minute, check here, check out the film. And they all came together. The entire neighborhoods came together. We need to find these people. You're not going to do this to Boston. Oh, hell no. And when they found this guy, the other one was dead, but when they found him, do you remember what happened immediately thereafter? I'm sure John knows because he was in Boston. Anybody else remember what happened immediately upon seeing this guy being caught? The streets lined with people. Black, white, Spanish, running down the street, cheering the police, clapping for that this guy was caught. Boston came together. One of my favorite players, and you can see, I don't know if you can see in the background here, but my Boston Red Sox hat. I've been a Boston Red Sox fan all my life, literally. And David Ortiz. And he said, very colorfully, "Not my effing town." And then they used the hashtag Boston Strong. And the entire people in Fenway went nuts. Not in my effing town. What happened? How did we forget these things? How did we forget these things where people came together and said, not in my effing town? Nah, this ain't happening. And then clapping, cheering for police who caught this no good scumbag who blew up people just running a race. You remember that? Probably not. Obviously, in liberal Massachusetts, there may be many people who don't remember that. Go look that up. Go watch the movie with Mark Wahlberg, and they did a recreation of that entire thing and how they found him. And then they made sure to include in the movie how the people reacted when this guy was brought into custody. There's also scenes in the movie where neighbors, let's go look for this guy, got together. Probably a good thing the cops found him. He was able to get to a hospital and go to jail, but I think the boys would have had something else for him if he was caught by them. Because not in my effing town. Wherever you live right now, are you ready to stand up and say, like David Ortiz, not in my effing town. This ain't happening. I'm done with it. I'm so over it. Yeah. So, Harris made excuses for insurrectionists and bailed them out of jail. Yeah, sure did. I was waiting tables and watching the TV. This is somebody up in the Boston area by the Cooks. All the illegals in the kitchen were laughing and clapping as second plane hit the second tower. Yeah. That was a very good movie. What's the name of that movie? Good, great movie. You haven't seen it, go look at that movie. Had one son in the Marines, another in the Army that went to the Middle East on 9/11. What needs to be done is something I really can't say. Yeah, but I will assume some of you know exactly what I mean. Yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone. Right now, we're on a precipice. And so the reason I'm being so strong-worded is because I heard out tonight that Mitch McConnell is trying to kill this bill that would basically stop newcomers from voting. He wants to kill it. And I thought to myself, what in the hell's wrong with this guy? Oh, okay, so you got some money in the game or something, because that's what you're trying to do. We know there are enemies on both sides. There are Republican enemies, Adam Kinzinger, Cheney. Now they're saying a whole bunch of people from Romney's camp are voting for Harris. Fine. Go away. We don't need you. The rest of us who are Americans need to stand up and get ready to go. Understand where we are. I remember the Boston bombing at the Boston Marathon. Yeah. Felt like a kick in the gut. I guess you're talking about somebody in Boston here. Yeah. It's amazing. I was... Hallie said, this is interesting. I was 13 and in foster care on 9/11. I bawled like a baby and was terrified. And then the next day, how did you feel? Even as an 11-year-old, how did you feel then? My niece was a Marine and at the Pentagon when it got attacked. She was 3 rooms down from when the blast broke one of her legs. You know, we're a small community here. But yet, everybody, and you could go through like all these comments, everybody has a story about September 11th and September 12th. We all do. I just told you I was in a dentist. Everybody knows where they were, and everybody knows how they felt. Everybody in Boston who's in here, anybody in Massachusetts, even if you weren't in Massachusetts, you couldn't believe that these idiots blew up the Boston Marathon. Well, there's some crockpots being placed right now in America. And if you don't wake up, they're going to detonate on November 5th, and we're going to be looking going, what the hell just happened? If you don't stand right now and say, not in my effing country, and dial it back, not in my effing neighborhood, start making that thought process a reality. Because if you don't, then you're going to see that kind of aftermath. Maybe not seeing a tower blow up, but you're going to see your rights and liberty just evaporate in front of you. Think I'm lying? Ask what the owner of Telegram is doing right now. The owner of Telegram is sitting in jail in France because they don't like him talking. They don't like his network people being able to, discuss things openly. You know they've got a target on Elon Musk's back. They don't want us even doing this. How are we going to fix it? We got to take it back ourselves. We got to say, no, enough is enough. Because these people are absolutely crazy. I was in my psychology class, and we stopped class and turned on the TV when the towers fell. The world stopped. And over the last 20 plus years, slowly but surely, it's not talked about anymore. Watch what happens on September 11th. It's going to be, in 2 weeks. Watch what happens. Let's see if Dementia Joe goes to New York. No. Let's see if Kamala goes to New York. You know who's going to be in New York, don't you? You bet your ass. Trump's going to be, unless they try to put him in jail. But other than that, New York's finest. They will read the names again. And every year, fewer and fewer people pay attention. It disgusts me how fewer and fewer people just, that happened. Because you're allowing people to basically say, it's not that important. We are Dunbury too. Yeah, absolutely. Vote red across the board. All right, so I got this one from Sherry. Sherry writes, everybody has a story. I've got a long story. I'm ready to go. That's what I want to hear. Guys, if you see women ready to go, I'm like the woman outside my office right here, yeah, she's really ready to go. She's had it. Completely had it. Doesn't want to talk about baby removal. It's not a top 5. Sorry. Not that important. I'm going to go see, as you know, up to North Carolina and see my grandkids. And climate change, no. That's not what's important. If we don't have America, those other things don't really matter. So let me go and segue. They're still going to try and sentence him. I thought it was September 18th. That's when I thought it was. Don said, I was in my dump truck driving through Cincinnati and was told to get out of the city. Yeah. My wife is a true warrior. Yes, she is. Sometimes she's tougher than I am. I will say that gladly, that she's tougher than I am. I was in town with my Trump hat on, and I was like, I dare you. Stroll all day and hit the pool. I love it. Exactly. Bring it. I'm tired of you people. That's how we need to feel. So it's getting worse, because now, I don't know if you guys have been following this stuff. What's been happening lately is that here it is, years later, now all this election data is being taken seriously. And watch Virginia. I'm going to tell you that right now. You need to watch Virginia, because Virginia may end up going to Trump. And here's why. Youngkin administration removed 6,000 non-citizens from the voter list ahead of the November elections. Okay, that's only 6,000. It's not that big a deal. Well, I'm surprised they put that as their headline, when the headline should have been this one right here. This is your headline. And I don't know why they didn't lead with this. Under Youngkin, the administration has removed close to 80,000 dead voters from the state's voter rolls last year. Removed voters who have moved out of state, and Youngkin has additionally removed 6,000 non-citizens from the voter rolls. 80,000. I don't think it's a mistake for you to know that probably most of those dead people probably voted Democrat. Just saying. Somehow they were able to push the gravestones aside and get into the polling and pick for a Democrat, pick for Dementia Joe. And 80,000, and now you can say 86,000, have been taken off the voter rolls. You think Dementia Joe's going to win Virginia without those 80,000 dead people? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Then, go further, we get this. Texas announces they removed over 1 million ineligible voters. 1 million. 1 million. This is one of the biggest sources of Democrat cheating because they file ballots in the name of people who have either moved, died, or never vote. Get ready to see Texas turn deep red in November. As more states begin to do this purge and realize, hey, listen, there's a whole lot of crap in here, we're going to see some of these so-called battleground states go, start to flip, because the real people are the ones who are going to be voting. And the margin of victory were such razor-thin margins. We know whatever they had to do to get to those razor-thin margins, that's not going to be available coming forward. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? See this one here. Texas announces that 6,500 plus newcomers were caught registering to vote, and nearly 2,000 have already been caught voting. They've all been referred to the AG for criminal prosecution. They're talking about Paxton, not Garland. I thought the media said this wasn't happening. So for some of you, and I wanted to show this to you, some of you who said, they're going to do it again, understand that there's a lot of people out there. Now, Texas has already been a red state, but a lot of these states, battleground states, people are looking. Obviously, if these newcomers were already caught registering to vote, they've been told to go ahead and register. They've already been activated. They need you to keep your eyes open and to report everything you see. Take your country back. Be active. Understand now there's a mechanism for people to go, I don't think so. You ain't from here. And get these people off the rolls. If Virginia goes for Trump, it's over. It's way over. I showed you that during my polling data show. There's no way she can win. Absolutely no way she can win. It would be over at that point. And I think right now what we're seeing is the entirety of this election beginning to turn. Something is happening. I'm not sure what, but I think people are realizing, including the media, that Kamala Harris is a fraud and Tim Walz is worse. So in case you haven't wondered, today, as we're getting closer to the debate, not sure if you understood what happened today. Today, Kamala Harris's team has said, I know we already agreed to this debate, but I want a chair and I need notes. You're the candidate for president of the United States, and you want notes? You want to be able to bring out notes so you can refer to questions that you probably already have, and you still need notes? Houston, we got a big problem here. This woman can't do an interview, can't even do a friendly interview, won't go talk to the National Guard, and now is saying I can't or won't do a debate unless I can have notes on stage. The Harris and Trump camps are at an impasse over the rules ahead of the September 10th ABC debate. The holdup, whether the candidates' microphones will be muted when it's their turn to speak. Team Trump wants them muted. Team Harris wants the mics hot so she can interrupt him over and over and over again with zingers, because that's what they'll practice with. They'll practice zingers. She's got nothing to talk about. So this isn't fair. We need to have zingers. If ABC capitulates the Harris campaign and changes the prearranged debate conditions, then yes, Trump should cancel, especially given that scene with John Carl yesterday where he was basically beating up on Tom Cotton, trying to say that certain things didn't happen even though it was absolutely true. So Trump, seeing all this, he decides he's going to put this out. I watched ABC Fake News this morning. Both lightweight reporter Jonathan Karl, ridiculous and biased interview of Tom Cotton, who was fantastic, and their so-called panel of Trump haters. And I asked myself, why would I do the debate against Kamala Harris on that network? Will panelist Donna Brazile give the questions to the Marxist candidate like she did for crooked Hillary Clinton? Will Kamala's best friend, who heads up ABC, do likewise? Where is little George Slapadopoulos hanging out now? Will he be involved? They've got a lot of questions to answer. Why did Harris turn down Fox, NBC, CBS, and CNN? Stay tuned. So late this evening, it appears, though, there may not be a debate. I mean, this came out and says Kamala's campaign demands a seated debate with notes for September ABC event. She's a fraud. She's absolutely a fraud. She cannot debate this man. She probably couldn't debate Dementia Joe. At this point, it's ridiculous. How long can they keep this charade up? They probably can keep it up as long as people allow it to be kept up. As long as people keep thinking she's a candidate with these fake polls and everything else. Because right now, she should be run out of town. This is all the Democrats got. Here's Trump talking about it today.
President Trump, would you want the microphones muted in the debate whenever you're not speaking?
We agreed to the same rules. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'd rather have it probably on. But the agreement was that it would be the same as it was last time. In that case, it was muted. I didn't like it the last time, but it worked out fine. I mean, ask Biden how it worked out. It was fine. And I think it should be the same. We agreed to the same rules. Same rules and same specifications. And I think that's probably what it should be. But they're trying to change it. The truth is they're trying to get out of it because she doesn't want to debate. She's not a good debater. She's not a smart person. She doesn't want to debate.
I think he nailed it. Why would you bring up this, that you need notes on August 26th? You got a debate in a little over 2 weeks, and you're telling everybody at this point, well, I need to have notes on stage with me. Because Big Bad Orange Man might say something, and I got to shuffle through the papers or my binder and find out the answer. How is everybody not looking at this and going, oh my God, this woman, enough. Swap her out, do whatever you want to do. She's not ready for prime time. She won't take an interview, even on friendly terms. She won't do anything that's not on that teleprompter that she can read. She's not deviating from those words. And now she's saying, I need a chair because I can't stand up, and I need notes. I don't think Trump should even do this debate at this point. I don't think he needs it. Let her go ahead and debate Tulsi. J.D. Vance, I doubt Tim Walz will show up. Right now, this thing is being held together by threads. There is no candidacy. It just doesn't exist. It's all fake. It's all smoke and mirrors. And at this point, I need you, as Americans, to understand this game is over. And I know a lot of people are like, well, Barry, it's not really over. She's looking good in the polls. I've showed you these polls. I've showed you what to look for in these polls. There's nothing there. She steals the no tax on tips. Today she got caught using the border wall that Trump put up in one of her own commercials. She's got nothing. If you felt that you were strong enough to win this thing, go ahead and stand up there and say what you're going to do. Now they're even saying, oh, hey, this whole thing about price controls and we're going to do this on food, we didn't really mean that. Not sure if you saw that. They're walking that back. So basically what this woman does is go and do a speech and let's see, how do people accept it? Oh, they didn't like that. Okay, we're not doing that anymore. What are we going to try next? I don't know. Only black people can use bathrooms in restaurants. Let's see what happens. Oh, they didn't like that. She's making it up as she goes. They've got nothing but the media. And at this point, you're starting to see the media look side-eye and go, this is stupid. At this point, Kamala, you're just making it up as you go. Now you want notes? You're making us look... I can't lose my credibility because of your incapacity to be able to talk without laughing. I'm not being facetious, but I'm watching and I'm seeing rapper, I'm seeing football players, I'm seeing all kinds of black athletes begin to say, yeah, I'm with him. I don't think she has any support other than cucked guys and young women with purple hair who want to rip out babies. I'm pretty sure, and old people. She's not going to get a stadium full of people again by herself. Not unless they're forking out a lot of money. She can't do it. Her rallies at this point are a couple of hundred people. There's nobody showing up. There's no Megan Thee Stallion out there twerking. There's no concert. She's got nothing. And I would challenge anybody to tell me what she has. There was a guy on my Twitter today who goes, she's doing things fine. She didn't have to talk to anybody. She's up in the polls. And I said to him, what poll is she up in? Show it to me. They don't know. They are all regurgitating. What poll? Show it to me what poll she's up in. Oh, she's up by 8 points. Oh, really? Oh, look at the methodology like I've been telling people to look at. Look at the date of this poll. I do my polling shows on Friday, and last Friday I did it on Saturday, which thankfully you guys all showed up to. But I often check every single morning to see where they are with these doggone polls, so I can see how they're doing. And here we go, just so you guys can see it. Let me go ahead. I check it every single day. You guys could check this every single day if you wanted to as well. And right back to what I said. Let me do this. I gotta make this by itself so you guys can see. There we go. Okay. This is the general election. This is Harris, Trump. And again, look at the dates here. Look at the dates. August 2nd, August 4th, August 4th, August 13th, August 16th. Today's the 26th. There are none, zippo, no current polls showing her ahead. So I feel comfortable asking people, show me where she's ahead. It doesn't exist today. Oh, but you know what? Nobody cares about the national poll. What's she doing in Arizona? Nothing. A week old. Nothing there. I don't know how these pollsters stay in business. You guys have seen this. Look, that's September 23rd. That's over a month ago. How's she leading? Nobody's going to be able to tell you this. I show it to you every single Friday. Every single Friday I go through here and I'm like, but I check it every day and I'm like, I don't know how they're even doing this shit on TV. Oh, the polls show her up 8. Really? Every single one. Nevada, same thing. Nothing. July 28th, I'm looking at a poll. She was up then. Wisconsin. Today's only Tuesday, so I can... today's Monday. What is today? Oh my goodness, I'm losing days. It's Monday. Okay, here we go again. This is Wisconsin. Oh, she's up 1. Yeah? How do we know? How do we know? August 19th was the last poll that was taken. Oh, by the way, this is against Harris and Trump. When you click this button and go to the 5-way, and things are a little bit different because they still haven't done anything with Kennedy's votes. Don't fall for the crap. I could do that, as you've seen on my polling show, for an hour and just prove to you that you're being lied to every single day. The pollsters have stopped. They know at this point they've got a puppet just sitting there who's not getting any support. So all they can do is just have the media lie to people and just keep saying it over and over and over. You need to be informed. Let's see here. MSM, yeah, almost 2 weeks to a month ago. Yeah, nobody's saying anything. Nobody's talking about it. Let's see here. As a veteran, okay, where was that? It went by too fast. I missed it. Somebody's talking about a veteran. She was not meant to win the election. The Dems want the House and Senate. Yeah, I can see that. Polls are being manipulated. I was at Fenway Park the day after they caught the brother opening day. Yeah, very good. Polls are being manipulated in her favor. Yes, absolutely. Let's see here. I used to be a Democrat, and they left me. I'm voting for Trump. A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that. So now you know there's no polls. So now I want to show you something. This is a short 25-second video. This woman in this video is a Kamala Harris surrogate, advisor, counselor. What she says in this video should disqualify Kamala Harris for good. Of course, the media is going to try and hide this. But as I told you earlier, this is going to piss you off. This video that you're about to see, which is only 20-something seconds, I'll play it a couple times, tells you everything you need to know and why you need to feel why it should be September 12th up here. So, without further ado, I want you to listen to the words that this woman says very closely. And afterwards, you tell me if it doesn't piss you off. I'm going to play it twice in case you miss some of what she says. Listen.
We can't just worry about protecting democracy. In this moment, we've got to reimagine it with people that look and love like us at the center. And I think for us right now, it's about reimagining freedom and this American story in a way that is more revolutionary than what our founders actually put down on that little piece of paper, but instead is the type of democracy that is by and for all of the people of this country. That's the opportunity that we have.
Did you hear that? In case you didn't, I want you to hear this little commie again talk about that little piece of paper.
We can't just worry about protecting democracy. In this moment, we've got to reimagine it with people that look and love like us at the center.
Kamala Harris wants people who look and love like her, which is crazy. So this woman's gay. They want them to be the centerpiece of America. People who look like her, look like me, I guess, and love like her, to be the centerpiece of America. Because that little piece of paper, known as the Constitution, doesn't mean shit. We have to reimagine. We have to change things up. So, okay, are you ready for a change up where America is reimagined to be like putting people like her who look like her and love like her at the centerpiece of America? I didn't see one rebuke of this all day long. Didn't hear it. Let's listen in again.
We can't just worry about protecting democracy. In this moment, we've got to reimagine it with.
We can't worry about protecting democracy. No. We got to change democracy. We got to change this electoral college BS. We just need to make sure that the people are centered on people who look like me and love like me.
People that look and love like us at the center.
She said it. This woman works with Kamala. People who look like me and love like me. Wait. So you're telling me that there is a different kind of love. Your love is different than my love with my wife. So you want only people who look like you and love like you at the center of America. You okay with that?
And I think for us right now, it's about reimagining freedom and this American story in a way that is more revolutionary than what our founders actually put down on that little piece of paper.
More revolutionary than what our founders put on that little piece of paper. How are you going to be more revolutionary? Oh, because you want to rip up that little piece of paper. You want to make it about your people, whoever your people may be. Not this antiquated way that America is run. Isn't that the same thing those guys who ran into that tower felt? America has to change, has to be a certain religion, has to be like them. We're all infidels. She just called you an infidel.
But instead is the type of democracy that is by and for all of the people of this country. That's the opportunity that we have.
I don't think you'd have believed that if I didn't show it to you. Deport her somewhere else. Yeah, I can never look like that POS talking. Look like her. Do you love like her? We can't worry about democracy while we save it, right? Because it's just a piece of paper. They're taking things that you hold dear, that your family holds dear, your way of life, for your children and your grandchildren, and saying, we want no parts of that. We want to import as many newcomers as possible in here. We want to make sure that we have complete autonomy to dispose of babies, do whatever we feel like. And you just have to deal with it because we have to reimagine things. It's no longer the USA that you thought it was. The evil is here. Understand, if you don't get that September 12th mentality, it's already here. They're just not flying planes into buildings. They're in your government trying to screw it up from the inside. And unless you get people together and build a coalition like Trump is building, now you know why he's building it. Because I'm sure Bobby Kennedy can say, hey, listen, I know a group of people who are doing this, this, and this. We need to, make sure we cover that. And Tulsi can say, hey, I've talked to many women, and here's what we have with that. Trump says, I can talk in business. Elon can say, I can talk about censorship. Let's fix that. We're fighting this war on many fronts. And the core thing that we have is completely opposite to what that woman just said. We don't care whether you love like us. We don't care if you look like us. God forbid people look like me. I hope there's no twins running around. Only thing we care about is the one thing she said doesn't matter. That little piece of paper. If you don't care about that little piece of paper, if it means nothing to you, then go ahead and vote for Kamala Harris. But if that little piece of paper that she's denigrating means anything to you or anyone you know, you better get that September 12th mentality back, because that is what they're trying to take away. They're trying to take away the essence of what being an American is all about. She just was stupid enough to say it in an interview. Kamala says it all the time. We got to make sure that the equity, because you started the race at a different spot, we need to catch up. So that's communism. They're looking. They are designing. Tim Walz with his 50 trips to China or whatever it was. They are looking and designing a way to reimagine America and get rid of this little piece of paper. So if you believe that that little piece of paper governs this country, and that's what you stand behind, that in the Bible, not sure which order, then you better get your head right, because they're ready. They're enthused. They want to take you on. They want to destroy this country. They're saying it. You know, it used to be like, oh, it's misinformation. I'm like, no, you're actually saying it in videos. AOC, all the time. Kamala, tons of videos. They're not being dishonest. You just got to take them at their word and understand you either make a choice to follow and be a strong American or accept what's going to happen. I hope Trump has RFK security. Yeah, can we dispose of the newcomers? Can we reimagine newcomers? How about that? How about we want to be around people who believe like us? I don't care what you look like. I don't care if you're white, black, brown. Do you believe like us? Do you believe that this is the land of the free and home of the brave? Do you believe that? That's my reimagining. That's your qualifications. You put America first. John F. Kennedy, remember what he said? Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And they killed him. They killed him. And then this guy, this orange man, gets up and says, make America great again. And they try to kill him. That's what you need to focus on. What these people are trying to do, and people think because we haven't been invaded by an army, that you're not seeing it. It's happening. They didn't need an army. They just needed to get a foothold into the government. And now they're slowly trying to eradicate everything that you hold dear. And they'll do it if they're given the chance. So that's why I keep telling people, I don't care if you're upset with RFK Jr. said. I don't care if Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat. If these people are coalescing because they want to be Americans, that's enough for me. Save America first. That should be the new slogan, not America first. Save America first, then deal with all the different things you have in mind. I even heard Cornel West today get up and do a video and say, you know what? I got to do something about this censorship. We can't continue to have this censorship. Jill Stein, I don't know what she's doing, but she may turn. Like they said yesterday, there's going to be a series of people who are flip-flopping. Not flip-flopping, just leaving the Democrat side. We're in a war of sorts right now with these people who want to completely not change your way of life. They want to reimagine your way of life. You know, if I want to change my life, if I want a new job, if I want a new place to live, if I want to move, usually I sit down and talk it with my wife. I don't have some third party telling me, I'm going to reimagine your life. Because at that point, you're basically dictating to me how I need to live my life. That's what they're doing. We're going to reimagine it and make this the center, get rid of this little piece of paper, and tell you how you're going to live your life. Are you ready for that? Because I know you weren't ready for it in September 12th, 2001. You stood up and fought. You're like, hell no, you're not going to take away my way of life. I know people felt that way in April of whenever the year that was when they blew up the Boston Marathon. No, you are not going to take away our way of life. David Ortiz, this is our effing town. Boston Marathon still runs every year. You're not going to change our way of life. If you don't feel that way, then you are helping facilitate what they want to do. And God help us at that point. So let me go ahead and do what I do when I address the super chats in here before I close. I just hope you guys remember this. You know, to me, it's important. I've got kid and grandkids, and I want to make sure that our way of life that I've come to love is exactly what America is all about. As I get this ready, I hope you feel that way, because they're trying to take that away from you. All right, so let me go ahead and acknowledge everybody here who's being so generous, which thank you very, very much. Okay, let me put this up here. Take away this. All right. Faith Taylor, thank you very much. Thank you, Tommy Lawrence, for moderating. Please, everyone, hit the subscribe button. Oh, yeah, do that for me. We needed to keep Barry on this channel. Thank you. Detroit versus everybody. Detroit Rock City. Thank you. Robert Cooper, thank you very much. Mike the Plumber, back again. Thank you. I like the idea of calling it the Party of Common Sense and Common Sense Democrats joining the Unity New Republican movement. I don't know. I haven't seen many people calling it Republican lately. I see Unity. That may be the name. Finally, God is on the ballot. More so, it is being registered. Bethesda, Taurus, thank you. Hi, Barry. I don't have much, but I want to sow on fertile ground. I pray that God continues to bless you and your family. Jesus is King. Thank you. It doesn't matter if it's $1. It doesn't matter if it's $0. What matters is that you're here. That's what matters the most. That you're here, you're watching, and you can tell other people. Thank you very much, Elia. Angel Melendez. Why no one doing anything about the media getting away with things they're getting away with? The media can only get away with things if you allow them to. Turn the channel, don't watch. I even stopped watching Fox News. I record it because I do these shows, and if something happens that's newsworthy, I'll go ahead and put it in a video, but I don't watch them anymore. I watch Tucker. By the way, Tucker came out with a huge interview with RFK Jr. Go check that out. Johnny Cole, thank you. YouTube is up to their games. Thank you, Ryan. My pronouns are proud American. I should put that in my bio. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Mike. Thanks, Subu. Thanks, Sandy. Severo Flores. Barry, you've been casting your net far and wide since you started this platform. California Hispanic, standing with you and everyone here. One big family. And I try to treat it as one big family. I want people to feel comfortable here. I want you guys to interact on your own, talk about things, understand you are not alone. And I know a lot of channels just talk at you, and they just play the video, and they do the video, and then they turn it off. I want you people, everybody who comes in here, to feel as though you're part of something. That's what's really important to me. Thank you, Barbara. Dark Warrior back again. I think it was called Patriots Day. Yeah, that might be. He's talking about the Mark Wahlberg movie where they blew up the Boston Marathon. Prescott Valley, Arizona, not in my town. You got to change that. Can't say that. Mike, what I need you to say is not in my effing town. Get angry, righteously angry. Barry, I heard YouTube is shutting down in September. I don't know. I didn't hear that. Thank you, Barry, for all you do. This is from Sandy, bringing us all this great info. Subu, again, thank you. Rebecca, thank you. Junie, can we talk about Zuckerberg's post? I'm putting something together on that, so just hold on to that. Bundy Data, thank you. Estrella, DJ, Estrella, again, thank you. What did I just do? Did I go too fast? What happened here? Okay, yeah. Kalui 21. Oh my God, that's my baby. That's my baby. Thank you, Robin. What? Wow. You hit me right here. But it goes into the same account. So what are you gonna do? NJ Sound, thank you. Visit Captain USA Music for Trump's anthem. I'll have to check that out. Pao Jiao Li. Remember what Khrushchev said in 1960. I'll have to look that up too. I like when you give me homework. Flowers for you, thank you. Crazy Horse Racing, thank you for bringing the good information. Gina Duncan, thank you. Lynette, we love you, Barry. You truly are the best. Thank you very much. I can't do this without you. I feed off you guys. It's sort of like the same thing, with Trump and his big rallies. You feed off the audience. It makes you feel really, really strong so you can keep talking and doing things. Love it. Would come out like a decoration that she won before the debate even happens. Probably. That's probably what she's looking for. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. By the way, if you haven't seen what Tulsi Gabbard said when she endorsed Trump, it's at the beginning of the video. Go ahead and check it out on my channel where it says Tulsi Gabbard announcement. I think she did a fantastic speech. talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm probably going to go live at around 11 or so, and then we're on an airplane heading up to see my daughter and the grandkids. So I'm not sure how many things I can do at night, but I'm going to probably go live every day at 11. See how that works out for the next 4 or 5 days. Talk to you soon. Thank you very much.